scoop today takes us to what looks like a perfectly normal suburban neighborhood, but that normal life disappears very quickly. The end of Oak Street stars Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor as Denise and Greg Platt, the parents of 2 children. The Platts are living on Oak Street when a mysterious cosmic event suddenly rips their entire neighborhood out of suburbia and just transports it somewhere completely unknown. That sounds terrifying. Could you imagine? Okay, hang on. We started the whole show by talking about the morning court. We should be eating cereal with just a spoon or a spoon and a fork. You guys know my decision now. It's just spoon in case you were questioning there. But imagine just sitting there and eating your breakfast cereal and you look out the window and you realize, wait, what? What happened? Why does the neighborhood look like that? Where's Bob's house? Yeah, that's what's going on here. So at first, they do not understand what happened or where they are. Then they reach the end of their street and discover that the road now stops at the edge of a massive cliff overlooking what appears to be a prehistoric world. Yeah, and yes, guys, there are dinosaurs. So imagine waking up in your own home. You're walking into your kitchen, you're having that cereal, you're looking out the window to see that your neighbors are still there, the houses are still there, and your car is still sitting in the driveway, but everything beyond your street has completely disappeared. There are no emergency services coming. There is no grocery store down the road. There is no easy way to contact anyone outside of the neighborhood. And on top of all of that, there are now giant prehistoric creatures just roaming around outside. I mean, that is the basic setup here. But this does not look like a traditional dinosaur movie because the dinosaurs are obviously a major threat, but the real story centers on this family and whether they can stay together long enough to survive. Here is some of the trailer.
I don't want you to tell me it's time to come home.
I can't leave.
I think that our neighborhood, our house, our whole street has moved.
Get out of there, run! No!
Just for a gunshot!
I don't need you to worry for me, 'cause I'm
all right. What do you even do in this situation? Do you even have electricity? Do you have AC? Do you have, is all that done too? And you just have kind of these 4 walls here? This is blowing my mind. I'm really invested in this one. And this is clearly giving some major Jurassic Park vibes, but instead of a theme park, just make it this suburban neighborhood. All right. Now, the movie actually comes from writer and director David Robert Mitchell, who said that the idea for this movie actually began with one simple image. So he was actually walking through a suburban neighborhood, and he started imagining what it would look like if a dinosaur suddenly appeared there. Because that's what we all do, right? We're just walking, we're like, what if there's dinosaurs here or dinosaurs there? Or, I mean, I'm not doing that, but he is, and obviously he's using it as inspiration. Check out more of what he had to say.
What would it be like if, just kind of imagine a dinosaur there. A few years ago, I was walking through our neighborhood. I was just taking a walk, and I was passing by this house and this garage, and there was just an interesting little alleyway and some garbage cans, and I just was struck by this image of like, what would it be like if just kind of imagined a dinosaur there? And I don't know why, but I just did, and I was struck by it, and I thought, oh, I want to write a film that feels the way that this feels to me in this moment. The movie came to me, and I quickly, put it down on paper.
That's fascinating. And you never know when inspiration is gonna strike. You could literally just be walking down the street and start imagining things. I kind of understand where he's getting at. I haven't done anything with it, but especially when you walk in an older city like New York City, or you go to Boston or Philly, some of these major cities here that made up America, right, in the beginning, you walk around and you see how old some of the things are. I mean, not as old as Europe, but then I just sit there, I see some of these churches, and I'm just like, wow, what was life like? And I really try to imagine, what did the people look like? What did this look like before there were paved roads and it was just dirt roads and horse and buggies? And I've stood on some very famous streets here in New York and had that thought. Now, he took it way far back. He didn't just take it 200, 300 years back like I was. He was taking it back to prehistoric times, but kind of same, and he made a movie out of it. So I think that's really creative of him there. And that's just kind of what makes this movie feel just a little different, because we have seen dinosaurs in theme parks and forests and giant action sequences, but just placing them in a quiet neighborhood, it does change the entire feeling, because one moment the family's standing inside a familiar home, and the next, well, they are just trying to survive something that should not exist anywhere near their backyard. So while there's action, and yes, there's gonna be the dinosaurs, there is also a much bigger mystery surrounding how Oak Street got there. Because where exactly is the neighborhood now? Where has it been taken? And there's also the question on whether the family can ever get back home. So here's what producer J.J. Abrams had to say about the film.
Like, this is a family movie, and it's a movie. It's edgy and it's scary and it's thrilling and it's fun, but it is a family movie. And I just, to be reminded the thing that we all know, which is there's nothing that's more important. There's just nothing, and to get to tell a story that is just such a wild ride that has that at its core is a very special thing.
Yeah. David?
I mean, I feel the same. It's everything you said is great. I agree.
That is so relatable. It's like, man, you took all my lines. What am I gonna say now? You guys are coming back to me? Yeah, well, he said ditto, right? Now, okay, here's the other layer, because since J.J. Abrams is attached to the project, it has naturally led to plenty of theories online. Some fans believe that the end of Oak Street could secretly be connected to the Cloverfield universe. And they have been pointing to the mysterious cosmic event, the alternate reality, the involvement of J.J. Abrams, and even a few possible clues hidden within the story. Now, nothing's been confirmed, so right now this is only a fan theory, but the secrecy surrounding the movie is definitely giving people something else to investigate before it even arrived. Check it out.
The end of Oak Street will be a Cloverfield movie, and I can prove it. I'm cooking. In the film Cloverfield Paradox, there is a literal scene that says 5 blocks mysteriously disappeared off the face of the earth. And that is the literal plot to the end of Oak Street. Also, the family in this film is called the Platt family, which is the same name as T.J. Miller's character that we saw in Cloverfield, which is something we've seen the other Cloverfield movies do before. Something has found us, something is coming, the future has unleashed everything, and something is happening at the end of Oak Street. I mean, you gotta admit, there's just too many coincidences for this not to be a Cloverfield sequel.
He makes kind of a good point, and he keeps going on for a few minutes here. So there are a lot of points to be had. So interesting. We'll see if that's actually true, if it actually plays out, if once we get through premiere weekend, we'll actually get the official nod that, yes, you guys were right, but we didn't want to spoil it until the movie was out. We'll have to wait and see. But now let's talk about the press tour for this movie, because it actually has been a lot of fun to watch, because Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor, they clearly have great chemistry, as do the rest of the actors as well. Here's a fun clip just showing all of them interacting and answering questions.
What's your favorite dinosaur?
I like the Diplodocus.
I like the T-Rex. She's the apex predator.
I like the one with the spikes all on its back. I love a Brachiosaurus. And I don't know if it keeps going back between Brontosaurus and Brachiosaurus, but, a long neck.
What was the most physically demanding scene you filmed?
I had to jump over a fence 8,000 times in the shortest shorts that you've ever seen in your life. That was
Which
my
you did brilliant.
Thank you, darling.
You did.
Run!
If you were transported to a prehistoric world, what would you miss most?
Coffee maker.
Letterboxed and running water.
I feel like a GPS. I need my GPS to get everywhere.
You know, I was trying to think when they were answering that, what would I miss the most? GPS, oh, for sure, GPS. But also, can we just say, just like the grocery store? Just being able to go and grab food whenever you want? That is very, I think that we all take that a little bit too much for granted, that we have this concept and this thing of being bored, whereas our ancestors, They were never bored because they were all just trying to survive. They had to go and make sure their food was growing and take care of the food, and then they had to in turn go and cook the food. We can just go to the store and grab food that's already cooked and just put it in our mouth. So I think that's what I would miss the most, but also, yeah, coffee machine. That's a good one, Ann. It's definitely a good one. So guys, The End of Oak Street, it's rated PG-13. It runs about an hour and 40 minutes, and it arrives in theaters and IMAX today. And I have to say, if my entire street were suddenly transported into a prehistoric world, I love my neighbors, but I would immediately need to know which one of them has food. That's what I'm saying, because I want grocery stores. Which one has tools and which one has absolutely no survival instincts, because we need to establish this kind of very quickly. I am just saying, maybe it's best we all start sussing out the people in our lives and the people around us and giving labels just in case something does happen, just so you know who to go to and you don't have to guess. I'm just gonna leave it there. All right, so that was our first scoop. Now, our next scoop may have the most unexpected movie premise of the entire week because it combines family, bluegrass music, crime, and the very competitive world of honey. That is right, honey. So, The Rivals of Amziah King stars Matthew McConaughey as Amziah King, who's this charismatic beekeeper and musician who lives in rural Oklahoma. So, Amziah does not just make honey. He runs one of the most successful honey operations in the area, while also leading a bluegrass band made up of people from his community. So his life changes when his estranged foster daughter, Kateri, she unexpectedly returns after years apart. She's played by newcomer Angelina Lookingglass, who is making actually her movie debut here, which is huge. Now, Amziah sees her return as an opportunity to just rebuild their relationship and just possibly bring her into the family business. So he begins teaching her everything that he knows, including how to care for the bees, how to run the operation, and also how to navigate a community where everyone seems to know everyone else's business. Now, at first, this sounds like, hey, this could be a sweet family drama about a father and a daughter who's just reconnecting over a honey business. But apparently, the honey business is ruthless. And Amziah, who rivals want what he has built, and when the threats against his business become a little bit more serious, well, the movie begins shifting into a crime thriller. And that's what makes this one just a little difficult to describe to you guys, because it does not stay just inside one genre. It really begins with music, with humor, and then this complicated family relationship, but it will gradually become darker as Amziah and Kateri are pulled into like this dangerous fight to protect the business and the people around them. So, all that being said, here is some of the trailer.
If you really want to ruin someone's life, you take away everything.
I would be careful poking around in this business. It is not full of kind people.
This isn't just theft. There's a design and a cruelty to this.
Someone loaded up everything he built and took it all away. And I'm gonna find them, and I'm gonna take it all back.
You'd be stealing back some honey.
I know the weather, I know the bees. I know the point where anyone else would give up, and I won't.
Are we getting paid for this?
Like I said, there's many genres just kind of circling around this film, which makes it so interesting. Now, the movie also stars Kurt Russell as one of Amziah's rivals, along with Cole Sprouse and other prominent names as well. So it's definitely a really interesting cast. And I also think it's fun to see Matthew McConaughey and Kurt Russell just sharing the screen, because both of them, they have such strong personalities as actors. So even before you know exactly what their characters are fighting over, you can already imagine the tension between the two of them. And yes, at least part of that fight is about bees. So some people steal money, I don't know, some people steal cars. And in this movie, they are coming for the bees. And Amziah King is not letting that happen without a fight.
Kind people.
Hell of a thing to rebuild.
Makes you realize how much we ought to savor the taste of that honey. Get ready, my little chickadee. Bees only swarm when they are ready for a fight.
So the movie first premiered at the South by Southwest Film Festival in 2025, where it received strong early reactions. And critics have especially praised Matthew McConaughey's performance and Angelina Lookingglass's debut. Now, for McConaughey, this film also became an important return to acting. Did you know it was his first live action movie role after stepping away from that side of the industry for about 6 years? That's right, 6 years. Check it out.
What made this the perfect project to come back to acting after 6 years?
Beautiful cast. I guess I had the itch, and it had the time, the place, the space, and the language that I found very original. And I love the words, and I love the poetry, love the music. Even there's the actual musical songs and performances, but just the music of the dialogue and the relationships. To go play a guy who's a king of men, Amziah King, who's a shepherd of lost souls, who is, brings in and gives belonging to all these misfits. You know what I mean? It makes each one of them the center of the universe when he's with them.
And this role really does feel designed for him because Amziah is charming, he's musical, he's unpredictable, deeply connected to his community, and just dangerous enough that you are never completely sure what he might do next. Now, as you heard a little bit there in this clip, Matthew McConaughey, he is also showing off another skill in the film because he actually sings. That's right, and he plays the mandolin. So a new clip from the movie actually features him performing the Bluegrass song Quill alongside members of Amziah's band. And the song was also released as part of the film's soundtrack. It is good, if I do say so myself. Check it out. I like that. That's a good beat. I didn't know that he's actually playing the mandolin there. He's actually singing. Who knew Matthew McConaughey had all these talents? So yes, guys, we are getting Matthew McConaughey as a beekeeper, as a bluegrass musician, and a father figure, as well as a man that's fighting off rivals. So there is a lot happening here. And I have to admit, before today, I really didn't know I needed a crime thriller about rival beekeepers, but if Matthew McConaughey and Kurt Russell, if they're gonna battle over honey while a bluegrass band plays in the background, I'm at least curious to see how all of this comes together, as I'm sure you guys probably are as well. So it is in theaters today for you to go check out. This is definitely an interesting one. I'm trying to think of like something I can relate that to. I really just can't, because I don't think I've ever seen Matthew McConaughey sing before. Sorry, I'm stuck on that point, but you just love to see it. You love it. All right, guys, moving on to our third and final scoop. We are gonna be ending with something that is great for the entire family. And apparently, dinosaurs are having a very busy weekend at the movies because they are not only invading Oak Street, like we talked about, but they are also teaming up with the PAW Patrol. That's right, PAW Patrol, the Dino Movie. It's gonna bring Chase and Marshall and Sky and Rubel and Rocky and Zuma and the rest of the team back for their biggest rescue mission yet. Now, the adventure begins when the pups are traveling by ship and they get caught in a mysterious storm. So they crash land on an uncharted tropical island and they quickly discover that they are not alone because the island is actually filled with dinosaurs. That's right. Now, some of them are enormous, some are friendly, and all of them create a completely new challenge for the team. Now, the pups soon meet Rex, who's a dog who's been stranded on the island for years and just has become an expert on everything involving dinosaurs. So Rex, well, he knows the different species, he understands the island, and he becomes the guide that the PAW Patrol desperately needs. And it's a good thing that they have him because Mayor Humdinger is also on the island, so of course, Humdinger immediately finds a way to make an already complicated situation even worse. You know those people. It's like, come on, you're doing this again? We're going here, you're doing it again? Now, he begins recklessly mining the island because he wants to exploit its natural resources. And that means the PAW Patrol, they have to pull off a series of dinosaur-sized rescues while trying to stop Humdinger before the entire island is destroyed. That's a lot of pressure on these little pups. Here's the trailer.
I am running! I'm a bulldog! This is as fast as I can go! Dino Island is the greatest discovery in the world! This is amazing! Come on, pups! We've got an island to save! No fair! I want a dinosaur BFF! Best friends forever! Oh, ow, ow, ow! Okay, stop, never mind!
Why is that the cutest thing that I've seen in a long time? I didn't know that I needed to see that. An animated little baby dinosaur that is I wouldn't call it a kiss. I would call it a poke, a pecking at a little cute puppy who's a police officer. I mean, guys, this is what I mean when I say that sometimes the kid movies, they really are meant for the whole family, because I'm sitting here as a grown adult and I'm like, sign me up. I'm down to check this out. There's too much cuteness. Those dinosaurs don't scare me like they did with the other movie. These dinosaurs, they do look cute and cuddly, even though they definitely aren't. And if I was in this movie, I should probably run. Now, let's talk about who directed this thing, because the movie's directed by Cal Brunker, who also directed the first two PAW Patrol movies. So families who enjoyed these films, they can expect the same mix of action. There's also a very impressive group of celebrity voices who are joining the movie, including, get this guys, Jennifer Hudson, Terry Crews, Fortune Femster, Jamila Jamil, Bill Nye, Paris Hilton, and even Snoop Dogg. Like, what?
Best Dino movie. Prehistoric, breathtaking, funny.
Little rhubarb, Mike. I love him.
I just think that PAW Patrol has been doing so good outside of the movie world with just the television programming that it's time to bring something like this to the big screen.
My favorite thing about my character is that he loves food.
So incredible we're here for the third film.
This is like a great movie for kids, adults, like everybody.
Every single character in this movie did such an amazing job to keep me going with confidence.
The pups and dinosaurs on Dino Island. Can't ask for more.
I mean, that premiere, first of all, looked like a vibe, but second of all, I told you, what a cast. You see how many people are involved in this? It's kind of big, and PAW Patrol is huge. It is massive. I feel like PAW Patrol is like the Rugrats of my childhood. I feel like that's what it's like for kids today, and also kids that are already out of the PAW Patrol era. It's been going on for a minute. And they even have these yogurts with their faces on it. They're very yummy. My nieces have them. I've tasted them. They're good. PAW Patrol knows what they're doing with the food game too. Now let's talk about the music game, because the music, as you saw in the trailer, it has a massive name attached. The Backstreet Boys, that is right, they recorded a brand new song called Bottle Up for the movie. And honestly, it is a bop. You got a little sneak peek during the trailer, but here, check out a little bit more.
Take this moment. Bottle up this feeling. Take this moment. Bottle up this feeling.
moment. How are the Backstreet Boys still doing it? Still making us move, dancing with the pups here. It was a collaboration I didn't think I needed, but it works really well. The guys are still crushing it 30 years later, and they look so good too. I love it. See, we're merging all the generations together. This is what makes it rock, because now parents who are of the millennial generation that grew up with Backstreet Boy posters have kids who have PAW Patrol posters, and now you're merging those two worlds together, and it just makes sense. Now, that connection with Backstreet Boys also gave us, okay, I have to talk about this, gave us a very funny moment at the film's premiere, because Snoop Dogg and Backstreet Boys member Kevin Richardson, they finally met after years of fans joking that the two look alike. And honestly, I don't really think it's a joke at this point. They actually really do look alike, which is crazy. Photos of them together at the premiere immediately started making the rounds online, and fans celebrated that the long-running internet comparison had finally brought them face to face. Check it out.
Oh my God, guys. Full circle moment. This is a moment that is very big for the internet. Look at this right here. I can't even talk. It got me shook. Kevin from the Backstreet Boys has finally came full circle with his celebrity doppelganger, Snoop Dogg. I am dying of happiness.
I know she was talking a little slow there, but I think, and that's why she put another video, layered it on top of it. She's like, look, I am so just shook right now that I can't even speak, I can't talk. And there are so many videos like this floating around on the internet right now, because it really was huge. People have been talking about this for years. Do you guys think they do? They really do. If we can just pause it real quick on the beginning of this video here so you can just see a little bit more of the comparison. I don't know if they didn't have the goatee, would it really make sense if they weren't wearing glasses with the goatee, but then you see the picture in the middle and you're like, hang on, okay, glasses are off, goatee is there, they have similar bone structure. I mean, and then you look at the top one when they both have long hair, and it's just, you get why the internet did the internet thing that they've been doing for years. So yes, this broke the internet. Who would have thought that PAW Patrol would break the internet with millennials? So guys, the adults are taking the kids to see this one. They are getting Snoop Dogg, they're getting the Backstreet Boys, and they're getting this joke that has been building online for years. So there really is something for everybody at this film. And now, I just personally cannot unsee it. I can't that somebody spent the time putting this into an AI today. With then Snoop just cheesing at the end there. I love it. And let me say, I did look for videos to see if anybody kind of asked, any of the reporters on the red carpet asked, hey, what do you guys think about the two doppelgangers meeting? I couldn't find any of those clips. I don't know if anybody asked. If they did, please send them my way. I need to see it. But if not, the reporters, they definitely missed a big opportunity there. So this was just a fun little button at the end of a really cool premiere. So guys, if you are looking for something the kids are sure to love, as it involves puppies and dinosaurs, then I think this one is for you. And it is in theaters today. This is definitely a fun one for the entire family. And with that, guys, that officially wraps up this week's Silver Scoop. So 3 completely different movies, and somehow 2 of them involve dinosaurs. So I promise that was not intentional. So we're gonna be back with a little bit more of the show after this. Don't go anywhere.